Sea freight services, essential things to consider when choosing the right freight company. Sea freight services have a complicated logistics process that requires a reliable international freight forwarding company to get your cargo shipment to your required destination. Such are the complexities of freight forwarding by sea. It is important that businesses choose the right freight forwarding agent to ensure the delivery of their goods within the agreed transit times. Choosing a sea freight company that fits your specific requirements can prove to be tricky, even more so if you are using such sea freight services for the first time. Having the certification for working in the industry is an important thing, but there are other vital elements worth considering before hiring a shipping company. You can find the process relatively easy by considering the following: sea freight experience. International customs, port shutdowns, transit times and warehouse management are pertinent issues that a sea freight company should be thoroughly knowledgeable of and capable of addressing in order to offer a smooth shipping service. These are matters that require experience and encompass the need to have an extensive network of agents in the destination country, as local knowledge is massively important. Having a well-distributed network is crucial because it is an integral part of ensuring seamless and quick shipping for the clients. A vast network of agents helps guarantee that the freight company will effortlessly manage rerouting or other shipping problems in the origin country as well as the shipment's destination. The forwarding agent should have the capacity to offer other services with reference given to transportation of goods. Besides the sea shipping, the cargo will need to be transported from the port to the client, and this means using road or rail transportation for the final leg of the delivery. Low sea freight rates. While lower rates are always a factor to consider, it should not overshadow the need for getting quality cargo forwarding services. You get what you pay for. Let this statement linger at the back of your mind as you consider the rates of various sea freight services. The problem with selecting a company at the cheaper end of the price scale is that there is a reason they are cheaper than other companies, and it generally comes down to service and additional costs. Sending shipments of goods overseas is not always a smooth process, and with many different stakeholders involved, things often go wrong, and when they do, the cheaper companies simply cannot afford to put them right, meaning that these costs, often substantial, are passed on to the client. Hiring on the cheap is usually an expensive mistake and can result in your shipment being held up for significant amounts of time, or even being lost. How does sea freight work? Sea shipping, or ocean freight, enables a business to transport their goods internationally for sale in global markets. International freight sea shipping involves the use of container ships that traverse the seas carrying billions of tons of cargo every year, and whilst the individual unit costs are exorbitant, economies of scale make it an affordable way to move goods as full container load (FCL) are shared by multiple companies. All the goods are packed into containers, in which transit space is booked through a freight forwarding company, and loaded onto a container ship, which then sails across the sea to its specified destination. Upon reaching the destination port, the goods are unloaded and, with taxes and port duties settled by the shipping agent, are passed through customs and onward to the end destination. Is it cheaper to ship by air or sea? The unqualified answer is it is cheaper to ship by sea than to use air. However, there are many qualifications to this depending on size and volume of the shipments, destination, required transit time and various other considerations. When sending goods by air freight, the cost will be billed based on the chargeable weight. Chargeable weight depends on the size and weight of the objects. In comparison, ocean freight is charged per container and containers can be shared and the costs split, which generally makes it more cost-effective. Unlike by air, when you ship by sea, weight is not usually a consideration, it is all about the size of the goods and how much space they take up. In shared containers, the costs are calculated on volume, often by the cubic meter. So, the larger and heavier your shipping cargo, the more likely it is to be cheaper to ship by sea, but as the size of the required shipment gets smaller, the differences in price reduce, and in some circumstances it can actually end up being more expensive to send by sea. Sea freight services, essential